Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. This is the preview to Kairat Almaty against Real Madrid in the Champions League. Wow, an 11-hour flight journey from Madrid to, was it Kazakhstan? Like, look, this has to be quite literally the toughest place to go, only because of how long it takes to get there and how long it takes to go back home. You're basically spending a full day worth of time traveling there and then back to Madrid. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy stuff. But look, they deserve to be here. I don't know the process of what they've done to get here. I'm pretty sure they played the playoffs and they won. But anyways, they are here for a purpose. They are here because they deserve to be here. So ultimately, you know, their home game is against Real Madrid. So look, it's an absolute honor for them to be hosting Real Madrid. We saw it in their players' reactions when the draw first came out about a month ago, and they were celebrating it. And people were saying, "Why are they celebrating it?" It's simple. You're playing the Champions League for possibly your only time in your career, unless they qualify again, which is very unlikely. You're probably not gonna get anything. Perhaps you can get a couple of draws, and you're at home, your home games, you can get something out of it. But in general, when you look at their chances of winning games, it's pretty much very unlikely for them to win any game except for at home. Currently, I mean, they are all the way down in 33rd, having lost their first game. And ultimately, it's about the experience. It's about the experience. You know, you're playing at home in front of your fans, your home stadium, and you're welcoming Real Madrid. Like, that name itself is just so big. The scales are just, through the roof. So they have every right to be happy about it, to enjoy, to be optimistic about it. Our job, or the players of Real Madrid's job, is to go out there and not mess it up. Do you know? And I'm trying to be respectful as I can. Do you know how embarrassing it would be for Real Madrid to go to Kairat Almaty and lose? I know it's a tough place, it's a tough fight, but it's no excuses. Like, one player for Real Madrid's, transfer mark value is probably bigger than the entire squad. So look, it's in the diary. It's a cool, unique place to go. It's obviously interesting to go there and play, but we should not go there and just be complacent. That's the rule number one. When we're playing Kairat Almaty, I don't know how they're gonna approach this game. I don't know, you know, how good or not good they are. I don't know if they're gonna play the most defensive football you'll ever see. I don't know if they'll be physical, they'll be rough. But no matter what, Real Madrid should be going there and winning, and not just winning comfortably. It should be a comfortable win. It should be. Whether it is, look, you've got some of the best players on the world in this team, and you're telling me you can't go away to Kairat Almaty and win comfortably? That seems a little bit absurd, to be honest. But look, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to them. Like I said, they've gotten here for a reason. But like I said, also, one player's in the Real Madrid squad's worth and value is probably bigger than the entire squads. So yeah, but to be fair, they did play Sporting away in their first game. Kairat Almaty. They lost 4-1. They were away from home, but they did score a goal. So obviously, it shows that you know, they aren't useless in that sense. And currently, they're second in their Premier League, the Kazakhstan Premier League. They, in terms of home form, they have, won their last two games, in their league at home, and they drew Celtic in the playoffs, but they won on penalties there as well. So I think their home form is quite good. They don't really lose at home too much. The way I'm looking at it, they actually win most of their home games. So they're a good team at home, obviously, but it's Real Madrid, right? Like, who are we kidding? I'm not even gonna go through their players because I don't know any of them. I don't know any of them. Like, I can read the names, I guess. They've got Ricardinho. They've got Jorginho. A lot of Brazilian names. They've got Dan Glazer. Sounds like an English name. Okay, never mind. They've got Joao Paulo, who's another Brazilian player. They've got Edmilson, another Brazilian. It sounds like he was the one who scored against Sporting last time out. Look, they've got a bunch of players that we don't know, so I'm not really gonna dive too deep into that. In fact, this preview is probably gonna be quite short and simple, really. But yeah, I mean, look, like I said, show your opponents respect. Don't be complacent. Just use your football and do it. Go and get the job done using the footballing skills. Don't do anything else other than on the pitch. You have 90 minutes to express your ability, to prove your ability. You've got 90 minutes, so don't be complacent and then you flop during the game. That would be freaking ridiculous and a laughing stock to the whole world, really. But I just want to talk a little bit about obviously prior to the game, and this when the Real Madrid squad arrived, and one fan, I don't know if that fan is a Real Madrid fan, but there was, I think, a, some there was a child, I believe. Let me just get this right because I don't want to. Yeah, so there was this fan. He is a child, and the Real Madrid squad gave, him, their signatures, and just really really touching stuff, really. So yeah, I mean, they took selfies with him, signature, and it's obviously a respectable moment. So like I said, look, Real Madrid always do things like this. It's really really rooted in the values of the club, into the respect, you know, that Real Madrid, and the class that Real Madrid are known for. And people are gonna make it that Real Madrid are a terrible club, terrible people, terrible players, and whatever. I'm not saying footballing wise. I'm saying in terms of their character and personality, and that's completely false. That is completely false. But that being said, happy for him. Back to the footballing side, Real Madrid have to win this game. The first game in the Champions League against Marseille wasn't good enough. That was the first game this season that defensively we were caught out. It's happened a couple of times since then, and most notably the last game against Atletico Madrid. We have got tough games coming up. We've got tough games. In fact, we haven't really looked at the next set of fixtures after this game against Kairat Almaty. We've got Villarreal at home next. Getafe away. That's going to be a tough game. Then our next Champions League game is going to be, obviously, Villarreal will be the last game before that 2-week international break again. Then, when we come back, 2 weeks from now, we've got Juventus at home. And then you've got El Clasico at home. Then. Now, I will say this, right? I'm not going to act complacent. But I would rather these tougher fixtures now than later on. But obviously, look, El Clasico is a big game. Juventus is a big game. We've got big games coming up. And the first big team that we have played this season, we've gone away and we have basically humiliated ourselves. So look, I want to make this point clear. Real Madrid have to play better than what we did against Atletico Madrid. We have to play better, but we also have to care. We have to bother. The attitude that the players shown in the second half especially was unacceptable. What I mean, players gave up, players stopped running, players stopped trying, players kept doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, even though it has not been working. And apart from that, Xabi Alonso did not make the changes needed at the right time. At halftime, like I said in my review, at halftime, the players that should have been brought off should have gone. Or you should have made some changes somewhere, you know? So when we knew how Atletico Madrid were playing, at halftime it was a warning. We were getting constantly attacked from set pieces and corners, and physically we just couldn't keep up. So why wasn't there that change? Why wasn't there that tweaks? Something. Change something. But we're not going to play them again. And not many teams play the way Atletico Madrid do. Now, the technical side of our game must be top. When you play Juventus, when you play Barcelona, and any other game such as Kairat Almaty, Villarreal are going to be somewhat physical, but not as physical as Atletico Madrid, I don't believe. Getafe are going to play peak haram ball. We're going to have to find a way there. So technically, we are going to have to be so much better than what we've been so far. And physically as well. Way better than what we've been. And this is just a warning. This is a beginning. It's a warning sign. Because things can change drastically for the worse if you don't react accordingly. Anyways, my starting 11 is quite straightforward. Courtois in goal. I don't see Lunin starting this. Carreras, Huijsen haven't had good games against Atletico Madrid, but it's fine. Bounce back. Asensio is pretty much the only other centre back. And I did see a piece of news, I forgot where and who said it, but it seems like Xabi Alonso could go to a back three for this game. So in that case, I think the only other centre back who's going to play is Tchouaméni tucks in as the middle centre back. And then it's Huijsen and Asensio either side of him. Fede Valverde out as the right back, technically wing backs, Fede Valverde and Carreras, if that's the case. Then I think Arda Güler and Bellingham as the two strong. Bellingham is the stronger midfielder. Arda Güler playing in a role where he's much more familiar with. It could be done as Ceballos instead for a bit more control and stability. And then the front three picks itself. I do think Rodrigo will come in for Vini Jr., but I could be wrong. Mbappe starts definitely, and Mastantuono for me is the best option we've got on the right so far this season. So I don't want to see Arda Güler on the right again. And apart from that, I think this team is a pretty solid starting 11. Score predictions, I'm going to be realistic here, and I'm going to say Kairat Almaty will score 1 goal. And I think we're going to win 3-1. So I'm going to go Kairat Almaty 1, Real Madrid 3. Yeah. But that'll be it. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Let me know what thoughts are down below. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.